man. Can I have one of those?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. You said I could have one.
6-0 start.
Because you're number 60.
That's right.
Yeah.
60-minute rice. Delicious quality rice in 60 seconds.
We get it. Consumer Cellular can help people cut the cost of their cell phone bill. But ever since Brad cut the top off his car, he's obsessed with cutting all sorts of stuff to show how much people can save.
200 bundt cakes for Talladega? Is that going to be enough?
But this has gone way too far.
I couldn't even find the remote.
Oh, I hate that.
It's a situation. Hey, Brad, I got a question.
See how we can cut your bill. Call Consumer Cellular.
Fact. Consumer Cellular can help people save on their cell phone bills. That's why I cut my car in half. This year, let's cut even more things to show people how much they can save. Let's cut the face off of our helmets. Let's cut the top off of our steering wheel. Let's even cut our hats.
Isn't that just a visor?
Shut up, Chris. Great. Can't wait to see what y'all come up with.
See how we can cut your bill. Call Consumer Cellular.
Good time last night?
The only thing better than a night at Talladega is a Talladega morning.
Talladega. Thomas's high protein bagels, huh?
Recovery is key, man. 21 grams of protein is gonna fuel us up for another night of racing.
To recovery! Talladega. To all kinds of recovery. I could use 21 grams of protein right now. Try the new Thomas's high protein bagels. To recovery!
Y'all know who that was?
All right, so you got the memo. Looking good.
Ryan, there seemed to be a lot of tension in the turns. What happened?
Yeah, well, when it gets really hot and you're cool.
Every turn matters.
But yeah, I mean, when it gets that hot.
Every turn
Ryan,
matters.
I get that, but can you take us through the last turn?
like he said, every turn matters.
If you want to turn data into decisions, then make every turn matter with Trimble. Confidence at every turn.
Welcome to the Roush Performance Esports channel and coverage of the RFK Racing Holiday Showdown 2025. We've gone nearly all year without some oval action after our Roundy Round series ended, but it's the holidays, and the Holiday Showdown is our biggest event of the year. Celebrating the 2025 NASCAR season for the number 6, number 17, and number 60 cars, tonight is about highlighting some of those moments throughout the season and, of course, giving away some awesome prizes. I'm Joey Atterbury, and joining me in the booth tonight is no other than Jack Roush Jr., as well as Joe Peak on the commentary side of things. And then we also have Eddie Smith behind the scenes as our producer, and Trevor McClure on race control. And Jack, this is where I usually bring you in. This is actually one of our biggest events all year. 2025 alone, we saw a 70% growth in competitors signed up. You ready to give some stuff away tonight?
Oh yeah, I'm pumped. This is big. Man, it's awesome to see so many competitors here, and yeah, it's cool to see each year now. This is our third year doing this, isn't it? It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Wall and Joe Peak, I'm really happy to have you joining us for this one, and I see that you've already got your best holiday spirit on.
Well, I had this ghost visit me and said if I didn't, that I would be visited by 3 more spirits or something like that. So I figured I had to do something or else I just wouldn't get any sleep tonight.
Well, I hope that those ghosts brought some good gifts, because we are going to be giving away some really cool stuff here tonight. We have multiple splits going on, right? And not only do we have Top Split here getting the live broadcast, but we also have 2 other splits going on. Everybody's logged into webcams to provide us some themes, right? We're going to be giving away 3 RFK Racing crew shirts, one in stage 1, one in stage 2, and another one in stage 3. And they are going to go to the best RFK Racing theme or the best holiday theme that we've seen out of those webcam competitors. Not only that, iRacing has stepped up. Huge thanks to Steve Myers and everybody at iRacing. We've got some iRacing staff members as well here taking place in the race, and they have graciously given us $100 in iRacing credits for the race winner, $75 in iRacing credits for second place, and third place gets $50 in iRacing credits. And that's not just for Top Split. They donated it for every single split that we've got out here racing. And iRacing has also given us a NASCAR 25 console code that Jack Roush Jr. is going to be giving away at some point here on the stream. So it is going to be a holiday-filled night filled with giveaways. We are here at our usual track, Michigan International Speedway. This is where we've had our RFK Holiday Showdown for the past 2 years, and I can't wait to really see it get going again here again. Looks like we are getting everything going underway behind the scenes, as we've still got our giveaways and prizes still on up here, and we're going to go ahead and transition over to our track theme, talk about Michigan International Speedway a little bit. And Jack Jr., I'm actually going to let you handle this one because it's pretty much right in your backyard.
Yeah, this is the Roush home track, honestly. You can't see it from this angle, but one of those suites there in the infield has the Roush name on the glass of it. So that's a very special place for us. We've had a lot of success here, and it's obviously very close to where our headquarters is. And yeah, just a lot of history here for us.
And of course, it is an incredibly fast racetrack. Can't wait to see all the drafting games that we're really going to be kind of playing tonight, and the huge amount of pack racing that really is provided for us. And the cars, right? I mean, it is the Holiday Showdown. It is with RFK Racing. So, of course, we are going to have the NASCAR Next Gen Cup cars out here. We do have all three manufacturers, but obviously the Ford Mustang is the preferred car. You see the specs right there, but trust me, these competitors are going to be doing 200 miles an hour off into turn number 1. And it's going to be pretty close to 200 miles an hour off into turn number 3 as well. They haul the mail around Michigan here. Speaking of the race, let's check out our race details as we kind of have a little bit of a warm-up going on the racetrack right now. It's going to be 100 laps. We've got stage racing tonight for the top split. It's going to be lap 25 is throwing the first yellow flag, and then the second yellow flag will be at lap 55, aka after 30 laps, and then the final stage will consist of 45 laps in length. We do have one green-white checkered. Pit road speed is the standard 55 miles an hour. One fast repair is available, and of course, we do have the race admin. Trevor McClure, T-Bones, is behind the scenes. Race strategist, road race spotter, Daytona 24-hour winner, Sebring 12-hour winner. The list goes on and on and on. He is in our race control, making sure everybody maintains our driving standards, and also the stages crack off without any issues out there. And looks like we've got about a minute and a half here left in warm-up. Jack, we're getting some of the shots going around at the cars right now. Looks to be about 38, almost 40 entries here in Top Split.
Yeah, again, Joey, I'm very impressed with this whole field. Not this top split obviously is going to be an awesome race that we'll cover, but we had more entries than we could even cover. So there's actually 2 other races that are going to be going on at the same time tonight.
That's a great point. Yes, we do have Split 2 and Split 3 that are out there in the hosted sessions. I know that there are several drivers that are actually streaming those races from their point of view. I think Lynn Kinchlow is out there in split number 2. He always provides an awesome stream from his virtual reality setup, and I believe he's also got a charity going on. So that I know is in split 2. I believe some other drivers are broadcasting from split number 3. And I just got to say thank you to all of the drivers. I tried to hop in a lot of the Discord channels and just say thank you to everybody. Actually, here's a good live look from behind the scenes of some of the drivers that have hopped into the webcam, the competitor webcam, that are going to be giving away some of the themes. I think, Joe Peak, is that Moses there in the middle?
I think it's one of the wise men, honestly.
Oh,
that we're seeing. But yeah, that one honestly gets my vote for definitely the most creative that we've we've got of anybody. And there's some good ones. I mean, there's some great Santas out there, but this gets me for being clever.
And so this is Matt Laity. He is an RFK Racing team member. He has been a crucial part in putting together this RFK Holiday Showdown 2025. He is actually the reason why iRacing has decided to give away iRacing credits to all of the split winners in the top 3. So trust me, folks, if you end tonight and you're getting some of those iRacing credits, you have one of the wise men here to thank about it. Well, it looks like warm-up has officially ended. We're going to be rolling over to our starting grid here momentarily. And your pole sitter, I can't say I'm surprised right here. The number 8, the highest I rating in the field, that is Adam Garza. Maverick Davis, yes, just like Top Gun, is going to be lined up on row number 1 in second place. And we got Joey Beck here in third. Matt Weeks is going to be starting from the 4th place position with Ethan Winters in 5th. Razan Baker back here in 6th with Caden Dietrich in 7th place. Kasmin Ayanasu in 8th place with Garrison Hogan starting in 9th. And Tommy Gossett back here in 10th place, Joe Pete.
From there, it's going to be TJ Majors starting in 11th. You've got Devin Smrekar in the 12th spot and James Thurston starting in 13th. On the outside of row 7, it's Jonathan Cutlip. After that, Vinny Tigner is going to be in the 15th spot. Jeremy Gilliatt will be next to him. Ethan Burrell will start from 17th, and Joseph Melee is going to be in 18th. Row 10 has Brendan Argenio to the inside and Matthew Lady on the outside.
And then in 21st is Ethan O'Connor. 22nd is Charles Wembley. 23rd is going to be Brett Mitchell. In 24th, we have Wesley Triplett, Trip Daddy as I know him. Corey Vervink going to be slotting in here into 25th. Lucas Gortman in 26th with Nick Alford in 27th. Adam Gilliatt in 28th. Ricky Heinen in 29th. And Stephen Sharik in 30th. And Jack, I believe you've got 31st through 40th.
Absolutely. In 31st, we have Justin Melillo. 32nd, Matthew Mormond. In 33rd, we have Michael Armstrong. 34th, Christopher Sharp. In 35th, Gavin Austin. And in 36th, the RFK Sim. In 37th, the RFK Stig. We got we'll be taking suggestions on who you think that might be. In 38th, Malik Ray. 39th, Jonathan Cadell. And in 40th, Chris Gutierrez.
And yes, we do have 40 competitors here sharing the racetrack tonight, a completely full top split. Thank you so much. And for those of you who caught that, yes, TJ Majors is here in this race. Of course, Brad K. Spotter on that number 6 car, and you might recognize him from several other productions out there. Really cool to have TJ here racing with us. Well, the green flag is about to get going. The number 8 car of Adam Garza is on the front row, and now we have got a green flag. We are racing for the RFK Racing Holiday Showdown 2025. 100 laps here at Michigan as the drivers start to fan out going into turn number 1 for the first time. Side by side between the 8 and the 15 up front as we see 3 wide action a little bit further back. I'm a little worried that Maverick Davis actually got into the wall right there off of turn number 2 on the opening lap. But Joe Peak, here they are screaming into turn 3.
Yeah, it seems like right now it's a pretty wide racing coming around 3 and 4 as the drivers are trying to position themselves. We're going to see this a lot tonight as it's not going to be very much in the way of single file racing. So I'm expecting things to be a little bit hectic until they start to settle in. And then, of course, we'll get that stage caution and it'll just start all over again.
Well, and we are on lap number 2 here, folks. And trust me, this race is going to be fast and frantic. We do have stage racing, remember. The first yellow flag is going to be thrown at the end of lap number 25. The second yellow flag is going to be thrown at the end of lap number 55. So the stage lengths, 25, 30, and 45. Simple as that. As looks like Adam Garza up front is really starting to try to break away from the rest of the pack. And Remember, folks, we are here to celebrate RFK Racing and all of their successes through the 2025 season. I know that we are anxiously waiting for 2026 to come along, but Jack, I think one of the big highlights of 25 was really adding that third car, the addition of the number 60, and not only Ryan Preece and the number 60 running extremely well, but towards the front early on in the season. I believe they had a third place at Las Vegas in the first quarter of the season.
Yeah, Ryan and the team really did a great job exceeding expectations this year. You know, for a new team to be so competitive in, you know, the pinnacle of stock car racing in the world, you know, really is a testament to how good these guys were.
It's pretty cool to see that number 60 car get up and firing on all cylinders, if you kind of want to lean that way. And yeah, third place in Vegas. I know that he had 3 top 5 finishes throughout the year. I believe it was a third in Vegas. Indianapolis, I want to say, was a 4th, and then another top 5 in Iowa. But since we are here at Michigan, you can't forget about the number 17 car either. I know that they had a checkered flag in 2024, but also finished 2nd here. Chris Buescher, whenever he shows up at Michigan, always seems to be pretty fast out there, Jack.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Chris, I'm very impressed with Chris. We've known him ever since he was very young. And
we have, yes.
I know.
Right.
He helped out on our team as he was getting, you know, kind of his wings at Roush Fenway. And, man, it's cool to see what he's done with his career and just how far he's come.
And for all of you wondering what Jack is talking about, back when we were racing in the Grand Am stuff back in GS, Chris Buescher actually was coming out, scraping the car, scraping the tires, cleaning everything off, making sure everything was running in tip-top condition. And this was coming from an ARCA champion at the time, just trying to stay in racing, trying to be involved in racing. And there was an opportunity with road racing, and he took the opportunity and jumped on it. And obviously now we know Chris Buescher as the NASCAR Cup Series driver with multiple checkered flags. But yeah, pretty cool to see Chris from way back when, as we got that awesome shot from Cosmin out here showing some of that RFK racing spirit. And folks, there's not going to be any yellow flags here in stages 1 and stages 2 for any accidents, right? There will be a yellow flag to signal the end of the stages, but not actually going to be any yellow flags for any accidents out there. We just want to make sure we keep the racing moving out there and everybody kind of rolling. And Joe Peak, I know that you kind of have an eye for the race that's going on right now. You seeing anything that's jumping out at you? I see kind of single file up front and then a little bit busier in the middle.
Yeah, it does surprise me that they've been able to stretch away as easily as they have at the front. This is such a pack racing course that you're not usually going to get drivers be able to kind of leave them behind that way. It's almost like a mini version or a faux super speedway in a way. That it just creates such incredible pack racing out here. So yeah, it's not what we're expecting, at least up at the front. But you can see in the back, it is still frantic as drivers try to position themselves. I love this from Baker, not just going for the usual Santa gear. He's got the ugly sweater going on.
Well, not only that, but what do you think about the lights, Joe?
Yeah, the lights are great. That is a good touch to kind of bring in the festiveness.
You know, I think maybe extra points if he started wrapping around the sim racing chair almost like a Christmas tree. But I really like it. I really like this holiday theme that's going on. And one of the reasons why we're highlighting all of these drivers is because we're giving away those themes, right? So not just the best RFK theme, but the best holiday theme as well. This is Nick Alford out here racing the number 98. Jack, are you aware that the North Pole actually has lots of sun in the wintertime, hence the sunglasses?
Yeah, I'm just picking up on that right now, actually.
Evidently, he lives more towards the equator. This is a different Santa than what the North Pole typically has.
Gotcha.
Snow blindness awareness is what I'm seeing from our producer behind the scenes here. But Nick Alford definitely representing some great holiday themes out here as we just take over lap number 10 here. Remember, first stage is 25 laps. And let's talk a little bit more about some of the highlights that RFK Racing has had throughout the 2025 season. Can't forget about Jeremy Bullins joining the number 6 car. Remember, he's the crew chief now with Brad Keselowski. And of course, he worked with Brad K before in years past, and it's pretty cool to have him back on the crew chief box, calling the strategy, helping out Brad K. He's got a wonderful relationship with Keselowski over there, so really cool to see Jeremy Bullins join the team again. And I know that we actually have a short interview during one of these stage breaks that we'll go over and hear a little bit more from Jeremy Bullins, as it looks like a little 3-wide action there, Joe Peak.
Yeah, Baker with a big moment, and then I think Gossett's going to try and pick that up. In fact, yeah, he used his momentum perfectly. His duck down to the inside. That's going to move him up into 5th, but look at how he's just scattering everybody behind. That was a pretty decent-sized checkup.
This is very, very busy right in the middle of the field for what is 9th place. You see 3 wide right there riding on board here with TJ Majors. And I had mentioned it before, if that name sounds familiar, yes, this is the TJ Majors. And look at how millimeters of room are being given for each of these cars out here. Just the narrowest of margins. Really, really happy to have this guy driving here with us in the RPE events, of course. So crucial to the success on the radio with the number 6 car. And of course, you might recognize him from several other productions out there. TJ Majors, a huge voice in the NASCAR sport, and a pleasure to have him with RFK Racing for years to come here. And Jackie, you actually might be able to talk a little bit about that, because the relationship between driver and spotter, you kind of have to have the same lingo, the same mentality. That way the information flows the right way.
Yeah, that's very true. You know, you can't be out there having a conversation really, you know, I think the spotter, you know, will understand what the driver wants. And also, you know, it does go the other way too, but you know, the driver's out there, you know, dealing with everything else, how the car is doing, trying to go fast. And, you know, I think the spotters just really need to function well. You know, a key part of that is understanding how the drivers want to be communicated to, and you know, just give them the information that they really need.
Oh my goodness, squeezing the drivers up through turns 1 and 2. And Jack, I'm actually going to say, I need you to focus on the webcams here for the next, call it 5 laps, because what I need you to do is pick for us between our 2 webcam links the first winner of the night. And we are looking for the best RFK Racing theme to give away our first crew shirt of the night. It's going to be a Ryan Preece crew shirt. So call it lap 20, lap 22. I'm going to be coming to you for our first winner. You copy?
Yep, you got it.
Awesome. As it looks like the 3 and the 30, man, and the 50 takes a huge avoiding action. A little bit further in the back of the pack here, I think that was Jonathan Cutliff taking some avoiding maneuvers down to the inside of this thing. But Joe, you've commentated on so many sim races. You've seen the good, you've seen the bad, you've seen the pretty, you've seen the ugly. These drivers are putting on a show for us.
But I like that it's been relatively measured so far. I haven't seen anything that's too nutty for what you can achieve at Michigan. So I still feel confident at this stage that we should have a good race under our hands, because it can so easily be a wreck fest. Someone has to take to the bottom there pretty quickly on the exit of 2. That's a corner where you really have to watch out, because these cars can get so easily loose off of there.
And talking about getting loose here on the racetrack, it's actually a little bit warmer than what we typically have. Now, in our Roush Performance Esports events, we typically mirror the sim date as the real world date. However, through overwhelming recommendations from our field, Michigan races far better as a hot, slick racetrack. So the date is actually the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series date right at the beginning of June. And you see it's almost 80 degrees ambient. Track temperature just over 100 degrees, about 110 Fahrenheit. So I think towards the end of each of these stages, especially in turns 3 and 4, you're going to see the cars start to get a little bit loose. And Joe, you know that sometimes it's from cars running all the way down at the bottom, running out, you know, their tire wear. Sometimes it's from cars running all the way up top. And sometimes it's just from guys taking it easy at the beginning and then charging forward at the end.
Yeah, exactly. It's all in how you want to play things strategically, and unfortunately, I think we might have our first yellow, and it is definitely going to be multiple cars. The 77, the 3, the 6, all fully going around.
And trust me, folks, no yellow flags for accidents in stages 1 and 2, so we are staying green on the racetrack. All competitors were notified about this, so everybody's in the same boat. Oh, man, it just looks like it got loose up off of turn number 2. One of the cars got into the wall, and then it was just a little bit of a chain reaction after that. And if you're saying, oh, there should be a yellow flag, trust me, folks, there's a yellow flag coming in about 5 laps for the first stage break. And these drivers have one fast repair out there, so they can get the car fixed up and get back out there without losing a lap. We also have race control behind the scenes, making sure everybody stays in competitive contention out there. So we'll keep the show on the road, but definitely, Joe, our first kind of oopsie of the night.
Yeah, and apologies, I had already forgotten that we don't throw those in the first two little sectors. But I went back and looked. That was Devin Smrecker, who kind of got a little bit understeery. And then I think it was the 86 that he wound up kind of just drifting up into, and that kicked the whole thing off. But otherwise, it's just been one of those things that sometimes happens, especially when you've got cars going 2 and 3 wide at every corner.
And Devin,
guys,
there. Yeah, go ahead, Jack.
No, I was super impressed. That I've never seen a crash like that in the sim or in real life, where so many cars started spinning and there was no major damage. I mean, those guys really were able to avoid worse from that crash.
I think the only major damage was TJ Majors, no pun intended, unfortunately, for the number 30 car. He was involved right smack in the middle of it, but I can tell you he is still running out there, so as long as he gets to the yellow flag, he will get that fast repair at the end of stage number 1, and we'll make sure he gets whatever wave arounds are needed to make sure that they stay on the lead lap. And I actually think we're coming up to about lap number 22 right now. And Jack Roush Jr., do you have our first giveaway winner of the night?
I do. I'm going to have to pick. It's a tough choice. I got to say, all these guys are really rocking it tonight for the RFK stuff. It's a tough decision, but I got to give it to Robbie Jones. He's got one of our crew shirts on display, big die cast and a ton of small die cast in the background as well.
I do see Robbie over there, and of course Robbie is a longtime competitor of a lot of our RPE events. So big time shout out to Robbie Jones. And our first winner of the night is going to win a Ryan Preece crew shirt. We'll make sure to collect all his information after this night is over. But that is our first winner of the night, Robbie Jones. It'll add to that buildsubs.com crew shirt that he's already got over there, Jack.
It's awesome to see this. Really appreciate flying the RFK flag. Thanks, Robbie. Good job.
Super cool to see out there. And look at this. Actually, we're going to go into announcer mode, Joe Peak, here for the last 2 laps of the stage. We're going to be throwing the yellow flag at the end of lap number 25. But this is the fight for the lead between Tommy Gossett and Adam Garza. Adam is in the white and blue number 8, and he has led every single lap so far. And now he's got a challenge on the bottom of the racetrack from the 88.
It does seem like Tommy's trying to really play this one according to the rules that's presented to him, rather than what we're seeing with Adam, which is just get up front and lead every lap, because he was down as far as, I want to say, 7th or 8th just a few laps ago, but we saw him make that avoiding maneuver and has charged his way up in such an impressive way. And yeah, clearly the car has speed. He just is saving it for when he needs it.
And now we click over to lap number 25. So at the end of this one, somewhere in between start, finish, and turn number 1, we will get that yellow flag. And actually, race control jumped it just a touch early by a lap. This is at the beginning of lap number 25. But here we are, end of stage number 1. Your first winner is going to be the 88 of Tommy Gossett. This is going to give all the competitors just a little bit of a chance to take a breather, come down and get some new tires, fill the thing up with fuel. and we'll get back going racing for stage number 2. Here is one of those huge themes that we've got behind the scenes here. Tommy Gossett, of course, winning stage number 1. We are going to be right back, but while we have the break, stick around for some cool behind-the-scenes interviews with RFK Racing team members. Well, we are here at the RFK Holiday Showdown, joined by a special team member. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself with your name and role over there at RFK Racing?
I'm Jeremy Bullens, and I crew chief the 6th car for Brad Keselowski at RFK.
It doesn't really get much better than that, the crew chief for the number 6 car. Now, this is not the first time that you've worked with Brad K over there. You've got a pretty good relationship. What is it like to kind of join forces back on the radio again?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know, Brad and I always joke that we've raced together during a lot of different stages of his life, back in 2012 and 13, and then by the time we worked together again in 2020 and 2021, he was married and owned another business and had a lot of responsibilities, and then now he's the owner of the race team. So he's done a lot, and he's continuing to do a lot, and it's really cool to see the impact he's had on RFK and the opportunities that he's given us all with the equipment and the technology that we have.
We are here for the RFK Holiday Showdown on iRacing, and you had mentioned you have a good iRacing story with, I believe, your nephew you had mentioned?
I have a nephew who's 12 now, and he's been racing since he was 5. We've got a local dirt track here that he's won multiple championships at, and I had bought steering wheel and pedals during COVID. I was like, I'll get... Well, we got back to work pretty fast, so that stuff was collecting dust at my house. So he's got all that at his house now, and I picked a racetrack that I had actually raced something at. I'd raced the Legends car there. I think I'm going to be really good at, and I go run 30 or 40 laps, and I'm like, okay, like that's a good lap. Beat that kid, right? The second lap, he went like a 10th faster. So he's a good little racer, and we're doing everything we can to keep him coming up through the ranks.
Jeremy, I just want to say thank you so much for all of your time here today. We're going to get back to the RFK Holiday Showdown, but we look forward to watching you and the number 6 as well as the number 17 and the number 60 throughout the 2026 season.
Thanks for having me.
Hey man, can I have one of those?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. You said I could have one.
6-0 start.
Because you're number 60?
That's right.
Yeah.
60-minute rice. Delicious quality rice in 60 seconds.
We get it. Consumer Cellular can help people cut the cost of their cell phone bill. But ever since Brad cut the top off his car, he's obsessed with cutting all sorts of stuff to show how much people can save.
200 bundt cakes for Talladega? Is that going to be enough?
But this has gone way too far.
And I couldn't even find the remote.
Oh, I hate that.
It's a situation. Hey, Brad, I got a question.
See how we can cut your bill. Call Consumer Cellular.
Well, we are back here on the Roush Performance Esports channel with coverage of the RFK Racing Holiday Showdown 2025. Not only do we have all these wonderful competitors on the racetrack itself, but I also see tons of interaction on all of our social channels. I know this is being put out to the RFK Racing YouTube page, Facebook page, as well as X, and I know that Roush Performance has it on their YouTube page and the RPE Facebook page. Jack, it's great to see so many people interacting and watching this wonderful event.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone out there for watching us and enjoying this with us. Man, what a cool thing. Just lots of excitement this year and some really, truly great competitors.
Well, Joe Peak, any ideas on how crazy things are going to get here on this second stage?
They might erupt a little bit. I mean, they behaved so well in the first one. I'm kind of thinking that maybe we won't get things too wild here, but you can't really predict anything, especially when it's just a one-off for fun race. So we'll see. We got a lot of talented drivers.
And we are straight back to the action. All 40 cars are fixed up. They've got a full tank of fuel, some brand new tires on them underneath. Is the 96 of James Thurston forcing it 3 wide on the bottom, but it is the 88 prevailing through the middle of 1 and 2, claiming the lead back from that restart. As you see the 96 on the low lane, he just has no help from any drafting buddies, dropping like a rock all the way back to 5th place. Adam Garza taking the middle of the racetrack in 3 and 4, trying to build a little bit of that momentum. As look at how busy it is further back, maybe 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th place. Joe Peak, we're still 3 wide.
Yeah, it hasn't settled down quite yet. I think Hogan is in amongst that. You've got Gilliatt up on the high side, now nearly 4 wide for a brief moment, but they're going to get back to single file. Watch out for the one, though. Started in 38th. Malik Ray is up 29 positions right now.
It is about time we focus our cameras on this number 1 car. We really haven't said his name all night long. Of course, NASCAR Coca-Cola competitor, I believe, best finish of 2nd in the championship. Malik Ray knows how to win these races, is always going to be one of the fastest cars. And you heard Joe Peak say he is making his way through the field. Am I seeing this right, Joe? He's already up 29 positions. He started way in the back.
That is correct, and I'm pretty sure that's intentional. I noticed that he had not set a qualifying time. I think he's here to have a little bit of fun, so he's decided it's time to go after this latest pit stop. He was mired down in the mid-pack, and suddenly he is now in the top 10. Make that 30 spots as he just got by Winters, and I'm thinking he might get Gilliatt as well. It almost seems a little unfair for everybody else when you've got a black stripe suddenly show up in the chat.
And what Joe Peak is talking about, a black stripe, meaning Malik Ray has his pro license out here on iRacing. So, of course, you know, you've got your D class, your C class, your B class, your A class license. Well, Malik Ray has a pro black stripe license out here. If you've got ATVO, it clearly stands out and it shows, hey, I am number 1, just like that car number, and he is making his way towards the front of the field right now. Riding on board here, see him taking the high line through turn number 4. He was fighting for 9th just a lap ago, and now he has already cleared the 55 of Garrison Hogan for 7th, looking to try to draft up on the back of this lead pack. As you see, one of the cool parts about Michigan, Jack, and I think it's one of the reasons why we love to have this event here, look at how many lanes we have. And it's not just lanes at 1 and 2, but it's all the way around the racetrack. You can race down low, you can race in the middle, you can race up top, and you can race in between all those 3.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm watching Malik's in-car right now. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the way he's working this draft. It's not easy to make moves here. You really got to work the draft. And look at the way he's doing his side drafts, you know, coming up on cars and picking just the right time to make his move. Really masterful stuff here.
And to prove your point even more, Jack, fastest car on the racetrack, Malik Ray, the number 1 car, the only car with a sub 39 second lap time, and call it 10 laps into this run. And to kind of provide some context for everybody, the first 2 laps, wonderful on these tires. The first 5 laps, you start to get a little bit of a drop off, and then they really stabilize, but they never get that peak performance back. So to see the number 1 car turning those laps that are sub 39 out there so deep into the run definitely shows off his skill level. And he's not the only guy with high I rating out here. Adam Garza, I think, is 9,000 plus, and I think I see everybody inside the top 10 right now is about 5,000 or 6,000 I rating, Joe.
Yeah, like I was saying before, there really is a lot of talent here, and you mentioned how there's multiple splits. It's not too shocking when your lowest rated driver, I think, is to 2,000 or thereabouts. No, excuse me, it looks like we do have a 1,350.
Well, and those are VIP. The lowest I rating we have based off of our confirmations on our splits is actually 4,000 for the top split.
Man, just amazing. And that is not an I rating that you achieve just by being an average driver. You got to be working hard to try and reach those sort of speeds and consistency, especially on the oval side of iRacing, which is hugely competitive. But continue to watch the front of the pack here. Malik's now worked his way up into what looks like about 7th spot. I would not be surprised if Gossett and Garza, who've kind of been our two that we've flagged, suddenly become a trio up at the front. Instead, just like this, as he dives under 2.
And you see how calm he is during this whole thing? It's just like it's just a Sunday brunch out there. Malik Ray making it 3 wide in turn number 1 and 2. Did he get the pass executed? No. However, he is still making his way up through the field, and sometimes that is just forcing others off the line, trying to get that run. And actually, check this out. This was amazing, kind of what he did. He kind of forced him 3 wide in 1 and 2, and I think the 51 just was actually able to get a little bit of a better exit, but he ran the top in 3 and 4, and I thought he was going to carry the momentum and charge again to try to pass the 51 here, and that, of course, is Ricky Hanen in that car that's just holding off Malik Ray right now, and looks to be about, call it about 17 laps or so before we get to our next stage end. So, Jack, I am going to put you on another mission for our next giveaway winner. It is going to be for our best holiday theme. So not our best RFK theme, but we want to pick our favorite Santa, maybe our favorite wise men, whatever the best holiday theme is. I need you to go grab that one for me.
Oh, it's easy. I already got it, Joey.
Well, if you care to share, who do you think you got in mind?
Well, I like to spread out the awards. And again, everyone is doing a great job here tonight, but I got to hand it to Tommy Gossett. Okay, he won that first race. I already, after seeing, before the race started, I was like, okay, he probably won it. He had a full beard on, full Santa suit, and Santa gloves, and he still won the race and a tree. I mean, how could he not win this?
And I mean, with all the die casts behind him, I mean, I see a ton of 8. I see a ton of 88. I see a ton of 3. It is so cool to see all of these fans not only show up every single week to represent their favorite drivers throughout the season, but also get involved in sim racing and provide us these awesome shots and actually show off some of that skill as well. Because Jack, Tommy, like you had mentioned, won stage 1, and he's actually out front right now, still leading the way.
Yeah, absolutely. No, great job, man.
Really, really cool to see that. And talking a little bit more about some RFK successes throughout the year, because remember, that is what we are here about. And let's take a look at Brad Keselowski's stats for the year. From what I see here, 3 second-place finishes. That was Atlanta, Bristol, and of course, that excruciatingly close finish to close out the year at Phoenix. But not only did he have those 3 second-place finishes, he had a 3rd-place finish at Iowa, where he really led a ton of laps, really contended at the front there. And then, of course, 6 top 5s, 13 top 10s, got pole for the All-Star race, which is super cool. And Jack, maybe that's something that we can talk about a little bit more, because it doesn't just highlight Brad K and his performances, but it also highlights the performances of the RFK racing team, how they do that all-star pole, incorporating the pit crew as well.
Oh, I don't need to tell you, Joey. I mean, you know racing, and it's a special sport. When you see a NASCAR race or a sports car race, it's not just the drivers that are the competitors. It's not, like normal sports where there's 2 teams. There's, in this case, for a NASCAR race, it's like 40 teams. All the human effort that goes behind it is just massive. And when you look at the crews, these guys are professional athletes. They have to be the best in the world to compete at this level.
So I agree with you, Jack, and I'm sorry that I have an ADD brain here, because Joe Peak pointed out something behind the scenes of Gavin Austin's background here. I'm not sure if you know the movie Bad Santa, but look what he's got on the wall there. He's got Brad Santa, and I think Ryan Preece is there next to him as well.
It's funny. That's hilarious.
Great stuff, Gavin. Love to see that on the wall. And I also think that Gavin is, yeah, he's pointing at it right there, the Brad Santa. I think one of the cool parts about iRacing is Gavin is kind of showing us that you don't necessarily need these crazy SimuQ pedals and crazy triple monitors or virtual reality. Joe Peak, I think this is just a plain old Logitech on a desk, pretty much.
It looks to be the case, yeah. And I've heard of some extremely fast drivers win with those setups. So, yeah, I mean, there's things that can help when you start getting into the minutia. But at the end of the day, sim racing makes it so fantastically democratic, where the drivers who have the skills just manage to rise to the top. They can really show what they can do.
Well, and maybe because you involve yourself so much with sim racing and iRacing, this is a fixed setup, so it kind of plays into what you were just talking about. It doesn't matter their equipment because it's all the same on the racetrack.
Yeah, and to me, it's always been, if you're a good driver, even if the setup isn't perfectly to your liking, you'll figure out how to drive around it. You'll figure out how to be fast with it.
And that's exactly how the good drivers excel, is that they understand how to get the speed out on the racetrack. We're so used to watching the real world stuff and them searching around for the grip. Well, guess what? The sim racers do the exact same thing, trying to find the grip on that racetrack. As it looks like, well, it has been the Adam versus Tommy show. However, it has flip-flopped itself around. In stage one, it was Adam Garza leading the majority of the race, and Tommy Gossett coming to steal it away towards the end. And Joe Peak, it looks like the number 8 car has sat in the draft and kind of returning some of the medicine to the 88.
Yeah, and there's some serious trust between those two. You could see how close Adam was willing to get there. Now, that bottom line is going to be shorter, obviously, so he'll be quicker through the corner, but you can see he immediately goes to cover the inside because he knew the momentum was going to go to the high side, and Tommy was able to use that. He's back in front of him now.
What a race we got going on here. Some defending all the way down to that yellow line. Competitors using up all the racetrack, and I think everybody, you see those cars sitting in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. That's James Thurston, Maverick Davis, Matthew Weeks, Malik Ray. I think they are anxiously waiting and saying, hey, number 8, why don't you go up, make that 2 wide? Why don't you guys start racing a little bit, slow yourselves down, and maybe you can catch up to the back of the front pack here and make it 3 wide in some of these corners, as it looks like we're going to be coming up to about 7 laps remaining here in stage number 2. And I'm going through timing and scoring. I think we've only had 1 retirement so far, Joe, and that's the number 40 of Caden Dietrich. I think that everybody is actually still on the lead lap. A few little gaps, though.
Yeah, you're right. In fact, I'm looking through, and I only see maybe 1 or 2 cars that have taken their spare car, which is also impressive. We already heard Jack mention that there was a lot of spinning, but we didn't really see much in the way of damage, although up at the front, Gossett with a huge catch off of 2.
Remember what I said about the tire wear, right? The tire wear really seems to get the cars loose off of the corners. When I was in practice last night with everybody, it really seemed to be affecting them more in the 3 and 4 end of the racetrack. However, that catch from the 88 was definitely in turn number 2. So I think, Jack, we're seeing why all of the competitors wanted a slick racetrack. It actually is a little bit of a handful out there.
That gingerbread car might slip off the tray pretty quickly here. Sorry, go ahead, Jack.
No, it's I'm just watching like you guys. I mean, apparently Tommy probably got. I'm guessing I didn't see exactly what happened other than he slowed down. It looked like he may have pushed and had to check up, and just caught him off guard as the tires are starting to wear here.
Well, we are clicking it over to lap number 51. It looks like right now. So 5 more laps remaining. Already gave away our second giveaway of the night. And actually, Jack, I'm going to send you on another mission here for the next few laps. So not only, folks, are we giving away the crew shirts from RFK Racing, but iRacing has decided to give away a NASCAR 25 console code. This is the brand new NASCAR 25 game that iRacing has made. If you got Xbox, if you got PlayStation, if you got all those consoles, the NASCAR 25 is on. Make sure to go grab that, and we are going to be giving away a copy right here on the stream. So, Jack, I want you to go through that list of names, not just here in Top Split, but we've got about 150 names in our our raw Excel data sheet over here, and we're going to pick one of those to win a NASCAR 25 code here towards the end of the night. As Joe Peak, it looks like we got some racing for what is 4th place. I think this is Malik Ray trying to hang on to it.
Yeah, Davis really fighting with him on the bottom side there, trying to hold him back. But it does seem like that high line might be the place to be if you want to find some speed, because cars just seem to shoot off those corners coming from the wall there if they're trying to make a pass. Although I think they are catching up to Tommy. Yeah, Tommy may be struggling with those tires even more than we thought, because he's no longer near Garza and is about to be overtaken by Weeks.
Yeah, you're right. The 8 has really kind of escaped down the racetrack. And there is one car that's just ahead of the lead back, the number 3 of Charles Wimbley. So he might be going a lap down here in the span of maybe the next lap before the stage break. So don't worry about that number 3. We'll get him back out onto the lead lap. But 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. And I agree with you. The 88 of Gossett is starting to struggle. I think if I'm looking for a car that's going to be making moves towards the end of it, looking at the number 1. He's steadily been climbing. He's been using that momentum, and he's pulling big blocks right now, making the 15 push him down the back straightaway, Joe P.
Question is, can he keep that up and save the tires by the end? That's really the trick. And it always amazes me, these drivers who can somehow be fast and still have enough rubber left over towards the end, because I think that's the other thing, is just figuring out the conservation. You always tell me how you love being efficient, and I think these drivers who figure out the efficient way to be quick, to be smooth on the circuit, are the true masters.
You saw the number 1 car just push the 11 into the corner. I just think that he might be able to get to the inside, but the problem is time is running out. We are on lap number 55 right now, so it is going to be thrown somewhere in between start-finish and turn number 1. Adam Garza way out front. He is going to be your stage 2 winner. Also looks like Tommy Gossett right here is going to finish in 2nd, with Matthew Weeks in 3rd place to round out stage number 2. And folks, just like how we had the break in between stage 1 and 2, we've got the same break in between stage 2 and 3. We're going to get the pace car out there. Everybody's going to come down pit road. But we have another special interview with an RFK team member. Go ahead and take a look. Are here for the RFK Holiday Showdown with another crew member highlight from RFK Racing. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Nicholas Patterson. I'm the jackman on the number 17 car for Chris Buescher.
How did you get involved in motorsports after playing baseball and football at university?
Our athletic trainer at Winston-Salem State University was heavily involved with MRO, and he was doing some of the infield care center duties. I think he was actually the head. He wasn't very far removed from that whenever he was our athletic trainer at Winston-Salem State. And Roush Fenway at the time had called him and asked him, hey, do you have any graduating senior football players that are this height, this weight? You know, he knew me. We were good friends at the time, and so he threw my name in their direction and then told me that he had done that, and I said, okay, that's cool. You know, I don't really know anything about it. I never grew up watching racing. I didn't know anything about racing when I went into it, and so I am a firm believer that you don't turn something down without knowing what's involved. So I went and checked it out and did the whole tour, and they told me what all would be involved, and I agreed to make the trip, you know, about an hour and a half to come to Roush and train as a jackman under Cameron Cobb and Scott Bowen. But yeah, here we are 8 years later, getting ready to start season number 9. So it's been really good so far.
Is there anything from the sim side that kind of translates into your world at all?
It's no secret that drivers hitting the mark is imperative for fast pit stops,
And Cup cars are so hard because of the brake bias that you run as
yes, so it's a much more difficult car to do that with than like an F1 or an Indy car. When you can anticipate where he's stopping, then you're not having to go off of a reaction. And if you can anticipate, then we're able to jump the gun so that we're even attacking the car starting to come up before he's even stopped. So that's a huge deal. That's a huge deal.
We are going to get back to the RFK Holiday Showdown, but Nick Patterson, thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us here.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. It was a fun time.
Good time last night?
The only thing better than a night at Talladega is a Talladega morning.
Talladega! Thomas's high-protein bagels, huh?
Recovery is key, man. 21 grams of protein is going to fuel us up for another night of racing.
To recovery! Talladega. To all kinds of recovery. I could use 21 grams of protein right now. Try the new Thomas's high-protein bagels. To recovery!
Y'all know who that was?
All right, so you got the memo. Looking good.
Ryan, there seemed to be a lot of tension in the turns. What happened?
Yeah, well, when it gets really hot and you're cool.
Every turn matters.
But yeah, I mean, when it gets that hot.
Every turn
Ryan.
But I get that, but can you take us through the last turn?
Like he said, every turn matters.
If you want to turn data into decisions, then make every turn matter with Trimble. Confidence at every turn.
Hey, man, can I have one of those?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. You said I could have one.
6-0 start.
Because you're number 60.
That's right.
Yeah.
60-minute rice. Delicious quality rice in 60 seconds.
Well, we are back here for the RFK Racing Holiday Showdown 2025. We have already completed Stage 1 and Stage 2. Of course, those were won by Tommy Gossett and Adam Garza. But we have Stage 3 still remaining here. We do have yellow flags in this one, just in case we have any sort of accidents, as well as one GWC attempt towards the end of it, just in case things get a little bit messy. But stand on the gas one more time. The 8 accelerates away from the field, and surprise, surprise, Joe, the number 1 car fighting for second place on the bottom.
This is pretty much what we expected, but if these two start fighting too much, that's going to allow Adam to start to pull away from him, and it's going to use up their stuff a lot right at the beginning. So they have to be smart and try to kind of think long-term here, and it looks like Malik is not thinking long-term. He's already going for the lead.
That is impressive all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack, but the momentum from Adam Garza continues up top as he leads the first lap of stage number 3. Call it single file for the top 10 or so. And we get a little bit of two-wide action, diving off into turn number 1. And a name that we had mentioned earlier in the race and who had a little bit of trouble, I just want to give him a huge shout-out again because he is charging through the field, is the number 30, TJ Majors. He was actually involved in that stage 1 incident early on. Did not use his fast repair. He opted to get that thing fixed up on pit road. So he's got, call it, a lifeline still in the bank out here. And Joe, that's kind of important for iRacing because a faster pair, it's nice to have in a race like this.
Yeah, you kind of want to hold on to it until towards the end because it acts as a safety net. And if you do need it early on, it really takes away that backup plan, if you will. So if you can keep the car in good shape until then, as he gets a little bit of a touch there from the 28, then that'll help you out tremendously. Looks like he's a little bit boxed in right now and does need some of that patience to just kind of wait until the track's going to open up.
It is a busy racetrack out there, and yeah, there's not much room to go around. And folks, let me just kind of give you a reference on the speed. I think we can actually pop it up. Oz, we're watching on board right now. I see 200 miles an hour as we drive it into turn number 1. Let's see what minimum speed is, about 170, 172 miles an hour. And then rolling right back into the gas. It looks like we've got one car that went down to the bottom of the racetrack, and I think it was just a 1 or 2 car incident. So I believe we are staying green right now on the racetrack. I know that we do have yellow flags for wrecks in stage number 3. But, Joe, it's really got to be significant out there.
Yeah, it'll have to involve a lot of cars. I think it was Cutlip and Gilead involved in that. And it looks like we also got a third car. And I'm not quite sure which one it is. I do see a black flag for Corey Vervinkt, which I'm pretty sure is coming into pit lane a little too hot.
Yeah, and that's a bummer. I want to give a big-time shout-out to Corey V. We get some more replays here. This is coming up off of the corner. And I think this is actually live. My bad. I am just behind the times right now as a commentator. Classic. Classic me. But I was going to mention Corey Vervinkt, iRacing staff member. He's racing the number 28. He should be in the number 12 car out here. Jack, I know that we've got the RFK Stig out there, but Corey is definitely known as the Stig. He's always got the Stig as his profile pictures out there. Like I said, iRacing staff member, and always comes and races with us here at RPE as well.
Oh yeah, it's great to see Corey out here. Unfortunately, he got tangled up and, stuff happens, but very talented driver, and definitely grateful to have him here tonight.
Well, back to the action out there on the racetrack. No significant crashes yet, so we stay green flag in stage number 3. I think I see the top 33 are all in this lead draft pack right now. So something to kind of think about. I think, Joe, the only outlier that really is way out of position, and we don't even need to focus on him too much, maybe glance at him, is Devin Smirker in the 26. And the reason why I mention it is actually the 2024 RFK Holiday Showdown race winner. So the 26 of Devin Smirker, definitely fast, but a little bit off the pace right now.
Yeah, but experience does count for a lot, even in sim racing. So yeah, you can't put it past him, especially with how this race has been going. It seems like just about anybody has a good shot at it if they play their cards right. But James Thurston interests me, who we've been watching here in the 96, because I don't feel like we've really seen much that has merited attention towards him. And yet suddenly he's up there in the second place and looking like he's running strong. So maybe we should kind of bookmark him.
I would not count out James Thurston. After all, he has won a ton of RPE events. He is a regular with the Roush Performance Esports channel, and he is always one of the fastest. We had 3 events to kind of close out 2025. We had some Mustang GT4s racing at Road Atlanta, and James, not a road racer. All of a sudden, he bought the Mustang GT4, and he was competing for race wins in that event. And then once again, we had a Pro 4 event at Bark River, and James bought the Pro 4 truck and was racing at the front. And I guess that's just kind of a testament to these sim drivers, right? And it doesn't necessarily matter if you're an oval guy, if you're a road racing guy, Joe, is that if you understand the sim, you understand how to go fast.
Very much so. Also, I'm a little sad you guys didn't bring the jumpy trucks here to the oval because I would love to see them try that. But yeah, no, and I've seen that time and time again. I remember one of the first times on the sim that I raced against a real world oval driver, Timmy Hill, and it was on a road course, and he wiped the floor with everybody. So yeah, good drivers are good drivers. And you can't count them out because I think 83 just brushed the wall of the outside there.
Going to have to be something we'll keep an eye on here as we're getting some shots inside the number 69 of Jonathan Cadell using some triple monitors. And Joe, I'm actually going to reference you again because you have so much sim racing knowledge. We get so many different types of rigs out there. And I actually think that in oval racing, it kind of means the least amount. When you get into that dirt road stuff with the heavy hairpins or rallycross, and you like to have the virtual reality, but it kind of seems to be 3 rig types nowadays. The triples, which we see Jonathan, the ultra wide, or the virtual reality.
And I do think the 3 wides and the ultra wides are very useful here on the oval side because it's so much closer racing than road style racing typically. You need to have the awareness of where your competitors are and be able to kind of see how close they are to your side. Now, on that front, a spotter, much more than your virtual spotter, can be a huge help there. So having someone on your team, so to speak, could be a bit of an advantage. But regardless, just being able to kind of control your fate yourself also comes quite in handy. So you'll see a lot of these 3 monitor setups on the oval drivers.
Oh, man, it is getting personal here. Holiday Showdown. A lot of door banging going on right now for some position. You got to love to see it. The competitors out there, they're feisty, but I don't see any intentional wrecks out there. And that's where we really draw the line is the driving standards. You have to uphold the driving standards. And rubbing is racing. Right? That's just kind of part of it. As long as you're not taking out your competitors, everybody's having a fun time towards the end of the night. And want to mention a few more great items from RFK Racing. Not only are we giving away the crew shirts, but remember, we are here to celebrate the 2025 season, look towards the 2026 season, and my ADD brain is going to get in the way real fast because Justin Melillo, one of my favorite people out here, another iRacing staff member, racing the 53. Cosmin actually painted this car specially for this event here at the number 53. But Justin always has his puppy dog working all of the iRacing events there with them. So always love getting shots of Justin's dog behind the scenes. Joe, I know you're a big doggo person as well.
Yeah, I love when he shares that. That dog seems like a real sweetheart. I'm just disappointed that Justin didn't get more into the festive spirit here. That didn't have maybe an elf costume or something to kind of spice things up.
We'll have to bring that up with Drew in his performance review.
Yeah, there we go. I like that idea.
Just kidding around, but back to the good. Oh, looks like one of the cars was facing the wrong direction there. I think that might have been Matthew Mormond in the 60 car. He's already a lap down, unfortunately, so we're not going to get a yellow flag for that. It looks like I'm watching behind the scenes. I think Justin is realizing we were talking about him on camera. He's got a big smile as that was a huge tank slapper, Joe.
Yeah, and it collected a few other people in the process. It looked like we saw someone get smacked into the outside wall by that incident. So that's going to be a lot of damage here at the end. And without a planned caution to help you get back into it, may have been John Cadell here, that they're likely out of this race. In fact, I can confirm that Jonathan is retired. Vervinkt is out of it. Now, you already mentioned Diedrich has retired from this race.
Awesome job by everybody to try to avoid that. A little bit of a bummer for those couple of drivers as we focus on the number 17, the RFK Stig out there. And this is an RFK Racing team member. I believe this is Mason Flippin in the car, and he's actually providing some live updates from inside his sim rig there at RFK Racing. So great to have a bunch of these team members join us. I know that we just had our eyes focused on Matt Mormond, who was unfortunately involved in that incident. He's another RFK guy. I know Chris Sharp is out here, Matt Laity, I believe Brett Mitchell. I saw Mike Armstrong, TJ Majors, of course. There is a ton of guys. I think this is actually Josh Neely in the RFK Sim number 2 car and the number 6 car. So not only do we have these super high I-rating guys out here, but Jack, this is one of the reasons why we put this on, not only to celebrate the RFK 2025 season, but also let the team members have some fun.
Absolutely. And this is, confirm this for me, Joey, but I do believe this is our house simulators at our facility.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. That is the RFK Stig and the second one. Yep.
Yeah, and the team makes great use of these for getting prepared for races. You know, I'm not going to divulge too much here, but, you know, they are the real rigs that the race team uses. So it's kind of cool to have them be used for this event here tonight.
And speaking of other guys that are out here participating, actually there's some that are not participating, but rather managing teams. I know that another RFK Racing team member, Brian Murphy, has sent me a bunch of messages. He actually works over at RFK as a body assembly manager, but he runs a sim racing team that includes Adam Garza out here, James Thurston. I think I saw Joseph Mealy was trying to get here tonight, but I don't see him on the entry list. But big shout out to Brian Murphy. So not only do we have a bunch of RFK guys actually participating in the sim here, but Joe, esports has grown, and not only do you have to compete, but you also have to manage teams sometimes.
Yeah, there is all different aspects of it. And Joseph is here. He's in 23rd right now. So he is participating. And yeah, it's been cool seeing how it does mirror real life motorsports in a number of ways, that drivers have to learn a lot of the similar skills, and they need to surround them with people who have skills that can help them out, because no man is an island, obviously. And there we see Joseph a little bit bogged down behind a couple cars battling side by side. So yeah, and you mentioned a little bit earlier, you have Cosman, who paints the cars. That's a skill in itself. So yeah, if you want to be involved in racing, just know that you don't necessarily have to have a lead foot. You can apply it in a number of different ways, and that includes sim racing.
But if you have a lead foot, you might be able to compete with somebody like Chris Buescher on the sim. I think in the real world, he is going to pretty much smoke anybody that he faces up, and that's just proof, right? It is fact. Top 5 finishes this year: Phoenix, Michigan, Pocono, Watkins Glen, the Charlotte Roval. 16 top 10 finishes, 5 top 5 qualifying efforts, 2 stage wins. And you heard me list off all of those strong performances on road courses. Jack, we mentioned Chris Buescher earlier, kind of helping out with our Grand Am team, but he's also one heck of a road racer, not just on the ovals, but he's proving how fast he is at turning right as well.
Oh yeah, I can't say enough good stuff about Chris. I mean, the results speak for themselves, but just having known him, he's a very down-to-earth guy, very humble, hardworking, as we saw on our team, and as you can see in his current, endeavors. But one thing I'm also very impressed with Chris is whatever type of track it is. It could be in the simulator or in real life. He does not get shaken. One of the things I do when I drive is I try to, if I'm battling with someone, you try to wear them out. Or if, someone's on you, you try to be mentally strong enough to last that type of pressure. I have never seen Chris get pressured and make a mistake. That's saying a lot.
Well, and I think that's one of the reasons why his stock is so high in the NASCAR Cup Series paddock, right? Is because Chris Buescher is known as a clean racer. He doesn't go out there and wreck race cars. He's going to bring your equipment home to the checkered flag, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, great point. I've never known of him doing anything dirty. He expects to be driven, cleanly by his competitors. And you guys probably know some examples of what I'm talking about, but, he does race people very clean.
And I think it's awesome to see him not only race clean, but stand up for himself, too. I know that there was a moment earlier in the year at Darlington with another competitor out there, and Chris kind of got off on the wrong side of what happened there, and he went and stood up for himself, and he didn't stand up for himself in a negative way. We're here. We're the number 17 car, and we're not going to be pushed around at all, and that's exactly what he's saying, and you're right. He's one of the cleanest drivers. And Jack, I'm actually going to be coming back to you because we need to give away our third crew shirt of the night. We got 15 laps to go, and I believe you've got that third winner, correct?
I do. And that third winner is Moore Farmer. This is for the RFK Spirit. And I mean, in his webcam, look, I mean, he's got a nice collection of stuff here, multiple die casts. He's wearing one of our shirts. He's got more crew shirts in the background, hats on display. Great stuff. Thanks for your support, Moore, and thanks for being here tonight.
And I believe this is Tyler Moore, our third winner of the giveaways for the night, winning a Priest crew shirt out there, so we'll get in touch with him afterwards. And Jack, I'm going to be coming back to you here in about 5 laps because you're going to be giving away a NASCAR 25 code, that console code for a lucky winner. But things, Joe Peak, are heating up towards the front. The number 1 has arrived at the scene.
Yeah, and interesting that you guys mentioned buckling under pressure because we've seen Garza smack the wall, and now once again, things getting physical here. You got to be careful with this in sim racing as well. In real life, obviously, you can beat and bang a fair bit, but in the sim, we're at the mercy of the speed of light. The internet can only feed so much information. And sometimes, as around goes Gossett, down to the inside, and that's going to take him out of the running after he's been so fast all race long. But I was about to say that internet racing, you always have to leave just a little bit of margin because sometimes the car can hook you and you didn't actually touch, but the lag was there.
Yeah, and I feel for the 88 right here. I think he definitely got some help from the 55 of Garrison Hogan. And I get it. I know that people are wanting a yellow flag, but it's been clearly discussed. It needs to be incidents 3 cars or more. I have a feeling, Jack, you can make an executive call on this. You are kind of the master when it comes to our esports events. Should we throw a yellow with 10 laps to go?
Oh, man, you put all that pressure on me, huh?
I'm putting all of that pressure on you. You don't have to decide right now, but you got 2 laps here to think about it if we want to throw a yellow for a 10-lap shootout.
Right, fine, let's do it.
Oh, all right.
You sold me on it.
Looks like we're going to be getting a full course yellow here in the next lap or so. And folks, this is coming from Jack Roush Jr. So don't blame me about it, okay?
Oh, I see how it is, Joey. Man.
Jack, how does that bus feel? That looks heavy.
No, it hurt going over me.
Folks, we love to have fun out here. That is one of the biggest reasons why Roush Performance Esports exists. While we have this 1 lap, Jack, maybe you could take about 30 seconds and mention how we formed up here in COVID times.
Yeah, if you guys have seen this, seen some of our events, you know the story, but it really came about during COVID, during the lockdowns. It was a dark time. People were, there's all the lockdowns, sporting events weren't happening. And, we just put our heads together, Joey. You were there from the beginning, and we were trying to figure out, how can we entertain our audience? There's no car shows, there's no races right now. And we saw what NASCAR was doing with iRacing, and we were like, well, you know what? That's a great idea. And we can add our own spin to it and entertain people, uplift their spirits. And it's really grown from there. It's really cool to have seen the ROUSH Esports really evolve since that time. We started with road racing because that's, what Joey, you and I have done so much of. But, you know, we expanded and kept trying different things, trying to entertain people, engage participants. And, you know, look where we are today. You know, we have 3 splits, some of the best racers out there. And I think we're still, you know, entertaining our audience, and it's a lot of fun. You know, why else are we doing this? Because we love it just like you guys, you know.
That's exactly why we're here, is to have fun, put smiles on faces, and be able to get to the racetrack even when we can't. And this is that yellow flag here with 10 laps to go. I think we are going to take a quick commercial break and be right back with a little bit more action.
Hey man, can I have one of those?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. You said I could have one.
6-0 start.
Because you're number 60.
That's right.
Yeah.
60-minute rice. Delicious quality rice in 60 seconds.
We get it. Consumer Cellular can help people cut the cost of their cell phone bill. But ever since Brad cut the top off his car, he's obsessed with cutting all sorts of stuff to show how much people can save.
200 bundt cakes for Talladega? Is that going to be enough?
But this has gone way too far.
Brad! I couldn't even find the remote.
Oh, I hate that.
It's a situation. Hey, Brad, I got a question.
See how we can cut your bill. Call Consumer Cellular.
Fact. Consumer Cellular can help people save on their cell phone bills. That's why I cut my car in half. This year, let's cut even more things to show people how much they can save. Let's cut the face off of our helmets. Let's cut the top off of our steering wheel. Let's even cut our hats.
Isn't that just a visor?
Shut up, Chris. Great. Can't wait to see what y'all come up with.
See how we can cut your bill. Call Consumer Cellular.
Good time last night?
The only thing better than a night at Talladega is a Talladega morning.
Talladega! Thomas's high protein bagels, huh?
Recovery's key, man. 21 grams of protein is gonna fuel us up for another night of racing.
To recovery! Talladega. To all kinds of recovery. I could use 21 grams of protein right now. Try the new Thomas's high protein bagels. To recovery! Y'all know who that was?
We are back here on the Roush Performance Esports channel, and got a full commentary booth. Got Joe Peak. I guess you're not over this way anymore. You're down here, so I got to look down. And then Jack Roush Jr. also have you joining us here. So happy to have you here in the commentary booth, and a lot of people online on the RFK Racing YouTube, as well as Facebook, as well as the Roush Performance YouTube social channels. We're wondering who all is talking, so we thought we'd put our beautiful faces on the screen. Although we've got 2 Santas. Is that a Grinch down there?
It is. Actually, I did not get the memo, and I think as a result, Krampus is probably going to be visiting me soon.
Well, just look behind your shoulder for any Krampus crawling through the window. Other shoulder. Oh. There you go. There you go. But folks, we're getting ready. 6 laps to go from what I see here to close out the RFK Holiday Showdown 2025. And I know we're going to be going back to green flag racing, but Jack Roush Jr., I understand you have a NASCAR 25 console code name for us.
Yep, actually, and I got some bad news, Joey. You left your credit card at my house, and I bought 2 more codes. So we actually have three winners. Is that cool?
Give them to us.
All right. we got Nick Alford. We got to look at his webcam here again. But, man, I'm very impressed with the Santa outfit with the sunglasses and the lit wreath. I mean, that's awesome. Greg McConey. You got to respect someone who wears a dad shirt with a Santa hat. I mean, come on.
He's actually got his kids on the back bumper of the car, his elves.
Perfect.
Oh, got a huge wreck in the back of the pack here. We are going to be going yellow flag. There is the full course yellow. So that stack up immediately caused an issue out there on the back straightaway. Jack, we're going to come back to your third pick once we go through the replays here. Joe, did you see what happened?
I did not, so this is going to be my first time as well. Saw a little smoke there in the background. And somebody got hooked and absolutely shot to the outside. Easy to do right here at the end, as we're not seeing people give as much space, but this might bring us to a one-lap shootout unless, do we have a green-white checkers here?
We do have one GWC attempt.
So that, Ethan was not hooked. It looked like it from the front angle, but from above, that car just got loose.
Watch the number 10. Yeah, you're right. It just got really, really loose off of turn number 2.
Well, he had cars right on front and behind him. Look how realistic this racing is. I mean, looking at a real incident like this, he probably lost front and rear downforce.
And
at the same
you're
time.
right. You're 100% right. I mean, how many times on TV do we see the air push a car, right? There's not actually any contact whatsoever, but the air can go up there and just kind of move a car, get it loose. And I think that's exactly what happened to Ethan there in the number 10. There was so little room. Jack, like you were saying, there's cars on the right side, there's cars in front, there's cars trying to push them in terms of the bump draft for the momentum. And you know from being in a real race car so many times, the air does crazy stuff, especially when you're doing nearly 200 miles an hour.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's you can't underestimate the power of downforce or the lack of it at that speed.
Well, this is our second code winner. Jack, you were in the middle of giving these away, but this is Greg McConey. And awesome to have him out here. He's actually in split number 2 out there. So Greg McConey is going to be getting a NASCAR 25 code. Great job. Nick Alford was going to be getting that first code as well. And then I believe you've got a third.
Yep. We're going to give the third code to Ryan Abt. He's got quite a bit of Christmas spirit going on with a Christmas tree next to his sim. And I believe that's a reindeer hat as well.
Awesome. I mean, yeah, look at the amount of die casts that are back there. You got the Christmas tree.
He's got a die cast in his tree, I think.
He does.
Spot. Yes,
I didn't notice
really
that.
Does. Oh, my goodness. I might have to figure out who launched the car into the tree.
It's the best ornament I've ever seen.
I think that just appeared after that last crash we had.
Oh, that's where it went. Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we've got all of our giveaway winners. We've got all of our NASCAR 25 code winners, and I have everything written down behind the scenes here. So I'll make sure to get in touch with all of our winners after tonight's festivities have concluded. Make sure everybody gets their prizes at the end of this one. As you see, the lights are out, and that means, how about we highlight the number 60 car successes throughout the year of 2025. Of course, that was the addition of Ryan Preece and Derek Finley on top of the box. 3 top 5 finishes. That was a third at Las Vegas. Indianapolis with a 4th, and Iowa with a top 5 as well. Of course, those RFK cars running great at Iowa. But not only the top 5s, 14 top 10 finishes. He got the pole position at Richmond, which was great to see. Not only that, but qualifying efforts are strong for the number 60 car. 4 races he started on the front row, and he led laps at nearly every single super speedway on the schedule. The Daytona 500, Talladega the first and second time, and also the second race at Daytona. And Jack, I know that's one thing that RFK Racing does so well. Not only their mile-and-a-half program, not only their road race program, not only their short track program, but also those super speedway cars are wicked fast.
Oh yeah, it's something that the team has taken a lot of pride in, and man, it is a very tough sport, but yeah, very proud of what they've done.
Well, I think that this could have the potential for one more yellow flag because, Joe, you don't see a GWC here, right?
No, it's a natural GWC.
So
This is two laps.
Yeah, we still have the option to have another yellow flag. We'll see how busy everybody gets out there, but it is the number 1 car of Malik Ray. 5-6 wide, a little bit further back on what is row number 3. Everybody's got to find a piece on the racetrack to squeeze into off of turn number 2, but it is that number 1 car still leading the way. I see 1 car spun around, but we stay green flag on the racetrack.
That's not going to be enough to call it for here, and it was towards the back too, but look at Malik Ray ahead of Thurston. Question is, can he hold him off for one more lap? That draft is huge as we got a wreck on the front stretch.
Yeah, it was only 2 cars that I saw. We are going to end this one under green flag racing here. It is off to the races. The number 1 versus the number 96 car. You see the 15. He's slotted into 3rd. That's Maverick Davis. But can anybody catch Malik Ray? Started all the way back in 38th position. Has gained 37 spots so far. He's going to try to cover off the 96. The 96 gets into the left rear corner. There's contact between the top 2. That's going to give it to the 15. Maverick Davis sees nobody in front of him. Winner, winner for the number 15 of Maverick Davis.
Man, I was not expecting that. Unfortunate to see Malik getting taken out, but man, what a great night of racing.
I think there's going to be some heated talks after this one because I agree with you, Jack. I think that was very aggressive coming from James Thurston up onto the number 1 car. We're going to watch some donuts from our Victor out front here and then maybe catch a replay of exactly what happened there in turn number 3 and 4. But, Joe, you've seen a lot of these finishes. Sometimes the guys send Hail Marys.
Exactly, and you got to be in it to win it, and that's what he did. He placed his car at the right place at the right time, and you just got to be there for when those things unfold so that you can pick up the pieces. He had a little Grinch character behind him. I'd say his trophy cabinet's going to grow 3 sizes today.
And this is what we are waiting for right here. The 15 of Maverick Davis to burn it down. I think my favorite part about this driver is actually in his sign-up form. So we have a name pronunciation form so everybody can let us know. And all he put in that name pronunciation, Joe Peak, was just like Top Gun.
Perfect. Which is great for you. But yeah, sometimes it is fun when drivers just get a little sarcastic with some of those name pronunciations. They're a little bit more obvious, like Mavericks is, but he's put on a great show and just capitalized exactly when he needed to. And in fact, he's going to spin it right into victory lane. Look at that, even a showman.
Wonderful stuff out here. And I do have to ask our producer. Yes, okay, never mind. Already hooked up. The 96 just drives it in. And I will speak so highly of James Thurston. He is a great sim racer out there. And I actually think we're going to get the whole last lap here. So, Joe, you can probably walk us through turns number 3 and 4, maybe the idea behind it. But the bottom line is that James Thurston, well known here on the RPE channels, he wins a lot of races. In my opinion, probably a little bit too aggressive once he got the run off of the back straightaway and charged it into 3 and 4 on the number 1 car who had already made his way towards the front.
Every moment in the car is a moment that you can learn from, and that's probably what he'll take away from this. And yeah, I think he was figuring maybe I could get under that car, and that's why he sent it in so hard. But the one was already trying to cover it off, and there just wasn't room. and that's what happened. He did cross the line, to be fair. Where did he wind up, actually?
Let's see where James Thurston ended up. I don't see him immediately. All the way down in 26th is actually where he finished.
So he got there eventually, but just not the quick way. And we'll take one more look at it here. Is this the one where he sent it? Because this is from a long, long ways back. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I think from that far back, no, it was never going to work. But like I said earlier, when it's a race that only means pride and fun, you're going to get moves like that. You almost kind of have to expect it if you're the one, and almost be prepared for those things.
Yeah, and before we do get to the interviews out here, I do want to give a shout out to Malik Ray. I don't think he's in the Discord channel, and it just wasn't the way that we typically like to end the RPE event. So I know that he probably feels wronged, and he was wronged in that. So just want to give him a big time shout out. He performed amazing tonight, but I actually think we are going to be getting our race winner down here into the commentary booth with us. We'll go over results after our interviews are official. Maverick Davis, going into turn 3, did you think you were going to come home with a checkered flag?
Absolutely not. Definitely not. No, not at all.
What'd you think of that super send?
So I was expecting that, for one. I expected that, so I backed off. I wasn't expecting him to take him out, but I expected him to drive her in there, push up, and then I come around him and take second. But I'll take a win too. That works for me.
Well, and we're pumped to have you competing here with us on the Roush Performance Esports channel on this RFK Racing Holiday Showdown for 2025. And obviously, you got a smile on your face, but I believe this is your first time competing here with us. And winning is always fun, isn't it?
Oh, dude. Nothing beats winning, right?
You going to come back and race with us in 2026?
I imagine so. I'm going to try. See what I can do.
Awesome. Well, before I let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Big shout out to my dad. He's going to be working. His work schedule right now sucks. But I know he's either watching right now or is going to watch the replay. Number one, did it for you, baby. 100%.
Well, that was Maverick Davis coming home with the win here in the RFK Holiday Showdown. And I believe we've got second place finisher standing by with Joe Peak.
Indeed. Garrison Hogan with P2. Kind of a similar situation, Garrison. I went back and watched those last 2 laps. You did an amazing job dealing with the chaos around you because there was a lot of moving parts there, it felt like.
Yeah, that was not expected. I don't know. I was in the same channel as Malik, and I was about to just tell him hey, good win. You deserved it. You came through the field, and I don't know. It was just I had to react to the situation. I almost thought really everybody was going to get wrecked right there, but we didn't, and I just kept my foot in it. But I felt so bad because I shouldn't have finished in P2, but that win should have gone to Malik, and he knows it.
Yeah, we were commiserating about that as well, feeling like that move probably wasn't going to work, if we're honest. So regardless, I mean, how did you wind up in P2? You came up 7 spots, and I don't think we really saw a whole lot of you during the rest of the race. Were you just kind of minding your own business for most of the time?
Yeah, just trying to get used to running up front on the short runs because I don't know why I just couldn't take off, but I guess that's the story of my life on the sim. But on the long run, I was fast enough. I felt like I had the pace. I was top 2, 3 times on the track. So it was just kind of hanging out, minding my business, knowing that the cautions were coming, and then waiting until the very end of the race to push it. But I mean, hey, I'll take the second place finish out of that because I was hovering around 5th all night.
Now, until we got that debris caution with about 10 laps to go there, it was actually pretty darn clean. We only saw a couple incidents here and there. Were you surprised at just how well everybody ran up until the very end when things finally kind of exploded?
Yeah, I think we were talking about that in the first stage, but normally, when you do a fixed or any other race here that week that it comes to Michigan, it's a lot of cautions, but tonight it was kind of clean, and then we got kind of mid race, and some things happened, and then I know I had my incident with Tommy, which I apologize for because I regularly race people with respect, and I'm pretty clean, but that was just a mistake off of the arrow situation. But it was overall really fun when it was clean, respectable racing going on the track.
I agree. Well, again, congratulations on a podium, and Merry Christmas. Enjoy the holidays, sir.
Yeah, and thank you guys for broadcasting it, and thank RFK Racing as well.
That was Garrison Hogan, P2. Joey, who have you caught up with next?
I think I got third place finisher Adam Garza here joining us. And first of all, Adam, thank you so much for coming out and racing with us here on the RPE channels for this RFK Holiday Showdown.
Yeah, like I said, this is a great event. I finished one spot worse this year. I was looking to finish one spot better compared to last year to get first. But yeah, I had a blast, and I really don't know what Malik had that I didn't on the long run. Just trying to hone in my craft before Road to Pro, and I was able to keep the gap once he passed me. I just need to do a little better job defending and not trying to get too antsy there. But yeah, congrats to Maverick. He ran a great race and pretty wild ending there, but we'll take a P3. And I think that to all the sponsors and people watching that could be involved with Coke, that I could take RFK back to the top in the Coke series if we're able to transfer. So yeah, I just had a great and fantastic race, and I can't thank Brian Murphy enough for allowing this chance to come together for me, and all you guys behind the scenes just do an amazing job putting this event on every year, and I'd love to be a part of it.
You kind of led me into my next question for you, actually. 2026 is just around the corner. I know you've got big plans with sim racing, and you're really proving yourself on the racetrack. The floor is yours. Do you want to tell people what you're doing in 2026, where they can follow you, how they can become a fan of you?
Yes, of course. Well, I stream on Twitch, Adam_Garza_racing. But apart from that, when I get home from the classroom, from school and work, pretty much all I'm doing is I'm just running laps, and I'm trying to run races like this really competitive to hone in my craft. And my chips are all on the table. I'm running Road to Pro for 2026. I believe I'm ranked third in top split as of right now, based on the iRating. So yeah, we're just gonna take that opportunity we can with top split and hopefully make free agency. And nothing would make me more happier to represent RFK in the Coke series if that opportunity comes about.
Well, Adam, you are well on your way. You've already got the interview part nailed down with all the names, all the mentions. That's the toughest part. So thank you for coming out and racing with us. And we hope to see your successes in 2026.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joey. I hope you guys have a great Christmas and Happy New Year.
That was Adam Garza finishing in third. And then we're going to only have one more interview here for the night. We've actually got Malik Ray joining us. Malik, I know that this isn't the easiest interview, but I think you were the class of the field, the biggest gainer all night. You started way in the back. Did you have fun at least up until turn number 4 on the last lap?
Yeah, I had fun like the entire event until, like you said in the last turn. I didn't even try to break the draft down the back straightaway because he was like half a second back. So, I just assumed that, that he was just gonna, I don't know, just driving there like a normal person and not do that. But obviously that was my fault for, assuming that. So here I am.
No, Malik, I know you're trying to be good. I know you're trying to be fair. But man, this is for fun. It's all good. It's all right to call him out. It was way too deep going into turn 3. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, it was, but I think he already knows that. So I'm not gonna sit here and try to, like shit on him on the broadcast or whatever. It is what it is, unfortunately.
I really sincerely appreciate you coming out here and racing with us. You are the only black stripe pro that we've got in the field. I know that Adam Garza is way up there in iRating too, but you really are the celebrity name of the eNASCAR field here. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming out and racing with us. And we hope to have you join us in 2026 with more esports events if you so choose to come and race with us.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you. I appreciate it too, by the way. I enjoyed the whole race and the event.
And before I let you go, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to Jack Rouse and you guys for putting on the event, and Roger Shelton at 10 Solutions, and Garrison Hogan and Maverick too because he won the race. So, you know. Congrats.
That was Malik Ray driving the number 1 car. Definitely our biggest mover throughout the evening. And this is kind of where we bring it all to a close. We're going to kind of go through our finishing results real fast on the screen. We're not going to read through all the names because I know that we are a little tight on time to close this one out. But here are your official results with that number 15 car claiming the win. Well, I think that this is kind of where we all show our wonderful Santa hats one more time and get our final thoughts from everybody here in the commentary booth. Joe Peak, I'm going to start with you.
Well, I want to know how that stew tastes, because you were stirring the pot quite well. It seemed like, Joey, that you were enjoying yourself in the interview, but it was fantastic racing. I mean, controversial end, but that adds a little spice to things, and I really enjoyed getting to come out for this one.
Well, love to have you here in the booth with us. Always a pleasure to have you, Joe Peak. And Mr. Roush, the mastermind behind all of the esports stuff, our 3rd year of the RFK Racing Holiday Showdown with a 70% increase in attendance. Can't wait to see 2026.
I know. If I make it that far, I'm just trying to dodge Krampus tonight, but if I make it, yes, we're going to try to do this again.
I hope that everybody had fun here tonight. I'm sorry that I can't get to everybody in the interview list over here. We have a ton of RFK Racing team members that I want to give a shout out to, including Matt Laity, also Mike Armstrong, who I see still sitting there in his rig. Also got iRacing staff members, Justin Melillo, Corey Vervinkt. The list goes on and on and on. We couldn't put this great event together without all of our successful partners, including RFK Racing and all of their support, as well as Roush Performance. Special thanks go to Eli Burke, Jay Lochner, Matt Laity, Jack Roush Jr., Josh Massib, and JP Roush, which we hope to have on the sim here soon enough. And I also really appreciate the time that both Jeremy Bullens and Nick Patterson set aside for us to record those special interviews that you all watched. Special big thanks to the broadcast team, including Joe Peak and Eddie Smith, as well as Trevor McClure behind the scenes at Race Control. And thank you to everybody who joined us tonight that watched our fun shenanigans. And remember, 2026 is just around the corner. The RFK Racing team is going to have those 3 full-time cars with the 6, the 17, and the 60. We hope for the greatest successes for all 3 of those cars in the future. And until next time, I'll see you at the checkered flag.